Hello. Yesterday I got a text from somebody. Shout out to you, you know who you are. And she basically told me that there's something comforting about the sucky quality of a camcorder. Because she was watching my last video, the March video. And she said she could listen to me yap for hours, and I was like, that's so freaking sweet. Anyways, I have been feeling for a long time, I feel like I just am in need of filming videos differently. Like, I used to love making the vlogs and I still like making the fashion videos, but there's just like things that I have just been wanting to try something new and making videos differently, and I seem like I've disappeared from the face of the planet if you only look at this channel, but I actually have been pretty consistent with posting stuff for my music stuff. I actually have a song, I don't know when this video is coming out, but I have a song coming out on June 6th called Girls Girl. I'll put the link, the link to all my music and stuff is always on my link tree, which is always like nearby, like in my descriptions or my channel, whatever. You can find my stuff easily. I'm very excited to release that song, and I have been filming a lot for music stuff. I haven't posted any of it yet. I mean, I've been posting covers, but I haven't been posting like the fun stuff at this moment. Because it's coming out when more music is coming out, and I'm very excited about that. But I've been really wanting to use my camcorder more because I don't know if I've said this online, but I've definitely written about it in my journal or whatever, and I've definitely like said it to people that I are in my life, or I've definitely said it to myself many times, but I feel like a camcorder, a digital camera, any type of old camera just feels so much like a memory. Something about the poor quality makes it feel like a memory. And I think it's the fact that, in my head at least, this is how I've kind of explained it to myself, is that memories aren't clear, you know? Most of the time memories aren't clear, and they're sort of fuzzy, and they sort of have this rose-tinted filter on it, or any type of filter on it. I feel like most memories are romanticized, even if they are bad memories. I feel like memories really enhance the main vibe, the main idea of the memory, if that makes any sense. It could also be the fact that old cameras are old and memories normally are old. And like videos of my childhood are poor quality, and that's what gives them that extra little hint of specialness. The fact that it's bad quality. I don't know, I really love old cameras, and I've really been wanting a digital camera so I can take pictures on them. And I've also kind of been wanting, I was talking to my best friend about this, about dumb phones, basically like getting a flip phone in place of your cell phone. And I was just thinking how freeing it may be to just have a flip phone for communication. You know, if you have to call someone or text someone, and it'd be really annoying to use, so it'd only be really when you really need to. You know, you can text or call people on your cell phone easily, so it's like, well, sometimes you're just saying nothing to each other, if that makes any sense. You're just texting each other for the fact of texting each other, which isn't a bad thing. But sometimes, you know, like, these babies are built to be addictive, are built to be something that is hard to put down, because people are making money off of us. But yeah, I was thinking like how freeing and how nice it would feel to have like a flip phone or a dumb phone, a camcorder, and a digital camera when you're going out and stuff. Because you don't need social media, you don't need games when you're out. You can be bored. You know, you can sit on the subway and you can observe people. I love people watching. Whenever I go out, I really try to stay off my phone as much as possible, especially when I'm with people. Am I great at it? Probably not, but I'm trying because I want to be more in the moment. And it's also good for your creativity to be observing other people, and I might look bored and I might look a little out of place and I might look weird because I'm literally just staring at everyone, but I could just go outside and just watch people. It is so interesting. Is that a little bit of eavesdropping? Maybe, but I'm not about to lie to you and tell you that I'm not always an eavesdropper, because sometimes your guys' conversations are interesting, y'all. It's not like I'm gonna do anything with the information, maybe I'm a little nosy. I don't know if I said this, but the girl who texted me, she also said that I need to start a podcast. And I kind of thought, well, would people actually listen to me yap? Like, what? I feel like talking is just, I don't know, I love podcasts. What are podcasts I love? I love Anything Goes by Emma Chamberlain. I love Pretty Lonesome by Madeline R.G. I love A Better You by Fernanda Ramirez. Those are like the top 3, like the ones I genuinely listen to. I do listen to, what's it called? What's Jake Shane's podcast called? I swear I'm not a fake. I love him. I feel like it's gotta do something with, I can't say it because I don't want to get demonetized, but if you know Jake Shane, you know what word I'm talking about. I don't know if that's in his name though. I don't remember. Sorry guys. Anyways, yeah, I don't really want to say that I want to start filming. I want to start filming more on my camcorder. I want to get more footage on my camcorder because it's not always that simple. I've noticed in life that people get motivated and they will say like, I'm gonna start doing this. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do this. And they get really excited and maybe they do it for a second, but then they just don't. And it's just like sometimes I want the universe to take me wherever I need to be taken. I don't want to force myself to be filming videos because last year I posted every single week. I'm pretty sure. I tried. I posted every single week, sometimes multiple times a week. And that was really good for my channel and it was really good for making videos, but then eventually it becomes like, well, I'm kind of just making videos for the sake of not missing an upload. And that's not the kind of thing I want. I want to make videos that are like forms of art and that I feel connected to and that I truly enjoy and that I think are going to help other people. It's the same thing with like music. I've never put this pressure on myself to write music. It just happens when it needs to happen. Same with journaling. And there are definitely moments in my life where those things are not as relevant. But there are definitely times in my life where all I can do is write music, write in my journal. Like all I am doing is that stuff. I don't think life is linear. I know life isn't linear. It's not just something where I'm going to be writing 3 songs a day. Like, no. Sometimes I'll go months without writing a song. Maybe here and there I'll write some sort of lyric idea or record some sort of lyric idea so I don't forget it, but I don't really feel like writing the rest of the song. It's just whatever pops in my head, I write it down for later. But then there are sometimes, like I had a week where I wrote like 8 songs, I think, in a week. I was writing multiple songs a day, and it's just the ebbs and flows of life. Life isn't linear, and I don't think it's something that we should force upon life to be linear. Because it's just not the art of it. It's just not the nature of it. The beauty is that there are ups and downs, because how could we know there's downs if there were no ups, and how could we know there's no ups if there's no downs? I just felt like yapping, and I honestly don't know if you want to post this. Sometimes because I have started releasing music and stuff like that, I do want to make sure, like, I keep some aspects of my life private, And it's not like anything's a secret, just private. the whole world doesn't have to see my every move. And I think the thing is with like influencers and people who like vlog their everyday life, they do lose a sense of privacy in a way, I think. You know, I think a lot. Clearly, I feel like I think a lot. And I've thought about how, like, at the start, a few years ago, I was like, well, I would love if my favorite music artists were also YouTubers and also filmed what they did all day. So, like, when I can become famous and I am a famous music artist, I'm also going to be a famous YouTuber because that's what I would like to see from my artists. But I've thought about it more, and I think it's not as simple as that. I think that it's very important to have privacy in your life and for the whole world not to know every single thing about you, because that can be hard on your mental health. And because music artists are so vulnerable a lot of the time, and basically they're sharing their diary with you, I think that it is important for them to have the privacy of, you don't know what the inside of my apartment looks like. You don't know what I do in my everyday life. There's that sort of intrigue, which I think is also something that has always been a big part of celebrities ever since celebrities first ever were a thing, is the intrigue. Well, what do they do in their everyday life? What is their morning routine? You know, what do they eat? What do they like to listen to? What do they do in their free time? And that's sort of the whole fun of it. I don't really know you, but I know you so well because you're wearing your heart on your sleeve, you know? And I think for like content creators and influencers, they also do share their emotions, and they do, depending on who they are, of course. Some of them don't really show that side of themselves, but some of them are so deeply vulnerable. And I think it's all about just how you go about it. And it's about what you want, and it's about how much privacy do you want. Sometimes I get scared because I don't want to share all of my brain, because what if, you know, there's nothing that's just for myself. But that's not true, because there are things that are just for myself that don't have to be for the world. And I think that no matter how hard you try at showing every last inch of yourself to the world, there's always going to be something that they don't know. There's always going to be something about you that probably nobody else will ever know. I was listening to, I think it was Madeline RG's latest podcast episode. Let me take a look. Also, The Wizard Liz. I don't know if you would count her as a podcast, but I feel like she has very wise words. And Issa Halton, but I also don't think he's a podcast. Anyway, that's off track. Her identity crisis video. I think it was that video, that podcast episode, where she was talking about how there is stuff that people are never going to know about you, and you're going to die with no one knowing about that, you know? I think she had an example in the video. I'm not exactly sure. But they're just things, the way you think, the things that go on in your mind, the little aspects of you that you do just that nobody else noticed. And it can be a little isolating, and it can feel a little bit alone, but also it's kind of like, well, no matter what, you are your own best friend at the end of the day. And I feel like it's comforting knowing that the world isn't going to know every last bit about you, and the world doesn't need to. There is something special about every single person that we are never going to know. Even the people that you know best, there's most likely something about them that you just don't know, and you just never will. And take that as you will, but I don't think it's something that needs to be looked down upon. I think it's something that's beautiful. I don't know. Anyways, I feel like I just yapped. I can't tell on this camera how long I've been recording for. So I don't know. I don't know how long I just yapped, and I don't know if this is all going on the internet. But if it is, hi. Thank you for listening. Let me know if you like listening to me yap, or you don't have to let me know. Anyways, thank you for listening to me. I hope this brought you comfort or something like that. And yeah, remember that I am releasing a song. So you can listen to that if you want. Okay, I love you. Gus is gonna say bye. Bye bye, Gus Gus.